Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Fanie, Naude here, and welcome to another one of my Monday videos. Today we are talking about the communication your message through a story. So today is all about storytelling, how to communicate your message, how to get those prospects interested. So tune in if you want to know more. But first of all, I'm Fanie Naude. I'm the managing director for Buznet Direct, where we help overworked accountants that's struggling with marketing and sales to get more of their ideal clients. So let us jump right into today's video about communicating your message through a story. Now, this was basically inspired by an interview I watched lately with Valuetainment, where they did an interview with Don Miller. Now, if you don't know Don Miller, he's basically one of the leading experts in the marketing industry. He wrote a couple of books and so forth and had some major success with some awesome companies. But basically, the interview is about the story behind your message. Because if you want to communicate to your prospects, you need to give them some sort of message. Now, usually it's quite straightforward for us because we really nail down, wants, needs, and desires, and problems, pains, challenges. And usually this is really good, and it's a good foundation to work from, because if you know that foundation, it's probably going to work. That's the foundation, and if you're an accountant using that foundation, you're most probably better than 95% of all the other accountants out there, because nobody knows how to do marketing. Nobody knows how to effectively give their message to their prospects that they feel understood, feel like they want to be part of that business and really wants to work with this. At this moment, the whole perception about the accounting industry, it's a grudge purchase. People don't really want to work with accountants because they only want to work with accountants because SaaS contacted them. And they realize, I'm in trouble, I need an accountant. No, that's a constant story I've lately been hearing about the guys I have on the phone. Like, no, everybody just feels it's a grudge purchase. So how do I convince that person, I'm better than the other accountant, or why you should be choosing me than the other one? And at the end of the day, if that person has that idea in his mind that this is going to be a grudge purchase, you're not going to convince him. That's not the reason why you want that person to work with you. You want him to work with you, not because he has to, because he actually wants to. Now, to get to that point and really to drive the point home, you can turn your message into a story. So like you've heard me in the beginning say, well, we help overworked accountants struggle with marketing and sales. Well, this is problems that I've identified. What do they want? They want their ideal clients. Okay, we get them a constant stream of their ideal clients. Those sort of things, great. Problems, pains, wants, needs, and desires, all covered in a neatly tight message. But that message is very small, and it's not really in a perfect, let's say, story structure. Now, this Don Miller really made me think about, okay, well, there's two situations. One, you're actually speaking to somebody, and the other one is just a tagline or headline on LinkedIn or on Facebook. The thing is, with a headline or a tagline, you only have so many characters. You can only put in so much, so it needs to be neatly condensed into that small space to give your message and make people interested. But if someone is really talking with you, you need to really tell them a little bit more of a story, because every single human mind is created in this way that they love stories, because humans love to learn from other humans. That's how we survived. We survived by seeing, okay, well, Pity down there, he's making a mistake. I should not be making that mistake. The crocodile eats him. Okay, I'm not going to do that. Great, I watched him, I learned from him. So then you go and tell other people, Pity went down to the river and he got eaten by a crocodile. Don't do this. That's a story. Like, okay, well, we love doing this. That's the way we survive. So everybody loves stories. That's why the movie industry is such a huge industry, even though it's the same story that gets told every single time. Like, it's the same story, it's basically the same sort of characters, like it's different actors and everything, but it's the story structure always stays the same, because we are wired in for that specific story structure. Now, if you're thinking about any sort of story, what characters are there mainly? Now, the four main characters, and everybody is going to quickly recognize this, is the hero, it's the villain, it's the victim, and it's the guide. Now, what happens in a story is the first thing that happens is you get your introduction to the character, that means the hero, and he wants something specific. Like he wants to save his daughter, or he wants to get the girl, he wants to become a millionaire. It's something very specific that he's aiming at. Or, he needs to go defeat the bandits or something along those lines. Now, that means, okay, well, you have the bandits, they're the villains, you have the people that they harmed, the victims, and then you have someone that's going to help the hero on his way, and that's the guide. Now, if you're thinking about your life, what character are you currently playing? Now, everybody's going to say, well, I want to be the hero. I want to be the hero. Now, if you don't have that mindset of I want to be the hero, well, great. Then you probably have a victim mentality or something along those lines. And that means that you're going to blame absolutely everything on everybody else, on the system, on the government, on the economy, on the environment. Everything else is going to be the reason for your failures, and you're never going to achieve anything because you don't believe that you should be taking personal responsibility for your future. Well, that's the victim. Well, the victim is going to stay constant, or is going to go downwards. Now, if you're going to go downwards, it's just going to go, things aren't going to go so well for him. But the hero needs to go on a mission. So in your personal life, you should be feeling like the hero. Now, if you feel like a hero, you watching the video, that means every single other person is feeling the same way. That means your customers are feeling the same way as well. Your prospects are feeling the same way. Well, if you're the hero in your story and you hear of another hero, that means he's in a different story. You cannot have two heroes in the same story, except if it's a team, but it's then a collective. The whole idea here is there's only one hero in the story. So if someone comes to you for help and you portray yourself as the hero to them, they're going to feel like, but I'm a hero and you're a hero, so we must be in different stories. So you're not the one who's going to help me. I need to find a guide. That's the key point here. If you are in business and you're offering a product or a service along those lines, you need to be acting as the guide, not the hero. Otherwise, it's going to feel like you're not part of their story. They want to achieve success. They have hopes and dreams. They have wants, needs, and desires. They have problems, pains, and challenges. You need to help them. You need to guide them on their way. So, in a story, the first thing, get the character. That's the hero. Now, you're not the hero. You want to be the guide. Now, the hero wants something specific, so he's on a journey. What happens on this journey? This journey entails problems and challenges and stuff he struggles with. Now, who's the one who's going to help him and motivate him to get through those challenges? The guide. The guide is going to say, well, you've been beaten down now. This problem is really getting you really down, but I'm calling you to action. You need to go and defeat those bandits. You need to go and get the girl. You need to go and speak with her. Or you need to start this business. You need to do this. Because the guide is the one that's always going to motivate the hero. And he's most probably going to give him a plan. He's going to give him some micro steps on how to achieve his plan. Meaning, okay, the first thing you need to do is you need to upgrade your gear. Okay, well, you need to get better gear, get a sharper sword, get a better sword, get some training, improve yourself. Okay, next step is, small incremental steps to making this a success. Don't just rush into the middle of the bandit camp and just attack everybody at once. You're going to get killed. No, small incremental steps of improvement, but this is coming from the guide. Yes, the hero is the one, going and doing the stuff and actually getting to the goal and getting the girl or slaying the dragon or however you want to put it. The guide is the one that you want to be playing if someone's coming to you for help. You don't want to go and slay the dragon for him. You don't want to get the girl for him. You want to help him on his way, help him on his journey. So there's a couple of major things that you need to listen here, and that is get into position of the guide. So if you are explaining yourself to someone else and they're asking you what you're doing, there's a great example that Don Miller gave in this interview, and that is, so there's two at-home chefs, right? And now, if you ask the one, what do you do? No, I'm an at-home chef. And that's all. And then you're saying, then you're thinking about, how can I keep this conversation going? Should I ask him where he studied? Should he ask him if there's any famous people he's been cooking for? Or, you're not invited into a story. Now, the other one is going to invite you into a story. You ask him, what do you do? And he's like, you know how most families don't really eat together anymore, and when they do, they eat unhealthy? Well, I'm an at-home chef, and I come into your house and I cook you a great meal so that you and your family can spend a beautiful bit of time together, bond with each other, and not feel guilty about the food you just ate. Now, if you notice that is a direct quote from him, so that is so much different than someone just telling them, I'm an at-home chef. That's giving you that entire journey. He's helping the hero. The hero is the guy of the family. He's helping the family. What's their problems? They don't eat anymore. They eat unhealthy. He's solving those problems because he's going to cook healthy food, give them the time to bond together. That entire story is in that short paragraph. You immediately feel like, oh man, this is great. Well, my deliverance of that story is probably not as good because it's not my story. But if someone asks you, what do you do for a living, and you're a accounting practice owner, what do you tell them? You tell them, well, I'm an accountant. Is that really just all that you tell them? Is there nothing else that you can invite them into a story of some deeper purpose, of some deeper journey that you're taking people on, you're helping people with? So I want to give you a quick example of, let's say, look, keep in mind that this is off the top of my head. I basically came up with it this morning. There's no statistics that's correct in this statement or anything like that. This is not research from me. So just found this difference. So the one is going to say, I'm an accountant, and the other one is going to tell you this little story. So let's say, for example, someone tells you, you specialize in physiotherapists. You as an accounting practice owner, you specialize in physiotherapists. So you can tell them like, okay, you know how most startup physiotherapists struggle with cash flow, and like 80% of them fail because of it. Now, I'm an accountant and I specialize in physiotherapists, and we come into your practice and put systems in place to turn those cash flow problems into your strength that can be used to grab the coming opportunities that only the cash rich can afford. Now, that's a lot more inviting message. Now, it's not perfect. I came up with it this morning. A little crafting, making it a little bit more succinct, let the flow come a little bit better. All of that is so much more intriguing. If the person talking to you is a physiotherapist and they want to open their practice, they're going to immediately want to work with you. Because they're like, oh, you already understand what I'm going through. You already know what the problems is. You have been solving these problems for other people. I should be working with you. No, I want to be working with you because you already know what's going on. Are you going to choose the guy that says, I'm an accountant, I do accounting services? No, that's what I do. And the other one is like, I specifically specialize in you. I specifically solve problems you have. And I'm going even further than that. I'm going to turn those problems into opportunities for you that you can go even further. Now, this is not perfect, but it's a lot better than just saying you're an accountant or you offer general accounting services. Like, if I'm going to do this for myself, it's going to be a lot better because I understand the industries, the problems and pains and everything so far already. So this is going to be more on the line of, you know how most accountants struggle with marketing and sales and they end up overworked, having to take on bad clients that make their life miserable? Well, we specialize in helping accountants to get a constant stream of their ideal clients while reducing their workload and increasing their profits. That's a lot better message than just saying, I help accountants, I do consulting services, or I do marketing services, or I market for accountants. Now, the one is a story structure which really ties you in and gets you thinking more about, really, okay, I understand this, and this is never in this story I'm telling you that I'm the hero. I'm helping you to achieve your dreams. I'm helping you to solve your own problems. I'm helping you with the things that you're going through. I'm not the one that's going to solve everything for you and do everything for you. I'm going to guide you on the right path that you can get to your desired situation. Now, if all of this really got a little bit overwhelming and thinking, well, I'm not even at this point yet. I'm just thinking about marketing at the moment. I don't really know where to start. Well, we did our first long form video, and I know this video is actually also a little bit longer, but we go into a lot more depth. I'm going to release that video on Wednesday. It's about the foundation of marketing for accounting practices, and it's really going down to the real root of everything. And if you don't have those foundations in place, you won't have any successful practice or successful marketing for that matter. So tune in Wednesday. I'm going to release that. It's going to be our first long form video. Other than that, I really hope this made you think a little bit more about the story structure, and we'll be doing a long form video on your message, crafting your message, really making it perfect for your audience. The coming week after that, going to be another long form video, so check out that. If this didn't give you enough things to think about and change your messaging for your practice, I'm going to go through a step-by-step process with the next one. But the first one is going to be the foundations for the marketing for accounting practices. Please tune into that one. So thank you everybody for tuning in for a Monday video. We do a video like this every single Monday at 12, and I really hope this created some value for you. Thank you everybody. Enjoy the rest of your week.